Where I am now, better than before, through those open doors. Where I am now, where I am now, I'm in a special place, a tender walking place. Where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, Where I Am Now. And if you'd like to see us live at WGPL 1350 studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page or Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page. And guess what? You can see us live right here in WGPL 1350 studio. And if you want to hear us all over the world, all you have to do is go to www.christianbroadcastingcompany.com or 1400 AM or 1350 AM and go to church webcast. And guess what? You can hear us all over the world. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood.
That's right. Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors, our WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace 95.3 FM and WPCE 1400 AM.
Facebook Live on and popping. Good morning, Roberta Carter. Let's also welcome LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll shout you out later on in the show.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. And we promise we'll shout you out later on in the show.
Shout out.
Ooh, it is Fun Friday, Mr. E.
That's right. It's Fun Friday. It's one of those beautiful days in the neighborhood. And it's one of those days where we put a smile on your face because the weekend is here. We just got paid.
The weekend is here. What you going to do this weekend?
Well, I'm not going to do no work. I think I just chilled and tried to find something to do.
I tell you what, with the beautiful weather that we're having, I'm hoping to get out and just enjoy nature.
That's right. This is the Mother's Day weekend. And so, I guess all mothers going to try to get out.
Oh, my goodness. That's how it is. Mothers are truly blessed on Mother's Day. I mean,
right. They're
truly blessed. I mean, showered and pampered. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But right now, we have our current job list.
That's right. You have your current job listing. If you got your pen and piece of paper, don't forget to jot down these current job listing. Harry Teeter's, United Postal Service, Lowe's, Home Depot, Federal Express, Ford Motor Company. Those are some of the folks that are looking for those who wants to work. And if you ever had been incarcerated, guess what? You can get a job also because there's special programs set aside for you. I heard that the Norfolk International Airport is hiring also for those who looking for housekeeping positions that cleans up the airport. So go down to the Norfolk International Airport and apply. Bay Agent Housings is looking for a housing case manager, a VAAA care transition coach, desktop support technician, and an option counselor VDC.
Hampton University, ETS, they need a high school advisor. They also need a middle school advisor. Virginia Stage Company needs a VSC finance assistant.
Elizabeth River project looking for a seasonal River Star home assistant, and 4 kids are looking for an after-school assistant post, a court educated coordinator post 1, a financial case manager 1, a grant building specialist post, a senior accounting post.
Oh, wow. Rural housing, they need a partnership RHP.
So you got the jobs now.
I'll tell you what, go online. You can go to Yolanda Hinton's personal page, Edward Everett's personal page, one FYI Radio's Facebook page, FYI hosted by Yolanda Hinton, LinkedIn. You go out there wherever you need to go on social media and Google our platforms, and you can see the current job listing.
That's right. If you need a job, here are some help. These are some jobs that can help you or help you to get on your way, because this is May, and May is 5 months in the year. And if you ain't got a job yet, you can't put it on FYI.
You know, I'm impressed by a lot of companies and organizations that give people a second chance in the workforce. They've been incarcerated. And, you know, people are saying, well, look, you know, you've served your time, or we know you did the deed, but you've paid for it. And now, you know, come back into society, do it right, do it better, make better choices. And we're here to help you. I think that is absolutely fabulous.
And you know, because they can get away from that excuse. Don't nobody want me. I've been incarcerated. I can't get a job because I've been to jail. That's a trick of the adversary. That's a lie. You can get a job because there's a lot of programs that they have set aside for you.
At one time, it was like that. Back in the day, you come out of jail, honey, you're in a mess. A lot of people go back to crime. They end up going back to jail. So we thank the Lord for people that have got it. They understand that people do need forgiveness, mercy, and a second chance. We want to say good morning to Sheila Robbins. Thank you for joining us this morning. So I tell you what, we are expecting a wonderful weekend. Great weather here in the Hampton Roads area. So much is going on. But today we're going to focus on our Sunday occasion, which is Mother's Day. And I want to say ahead of time, happy Mother's Day to all mothers.
That's right.
And because mothers are so special, and we're going to tell you exactly how special they are, we salute and celebrate you.
Don't forget that we will open the phone lines today. The number to dial is 757-624-9475. If you want to shout out your mother and tell us how beautiful and how good your mother has been to you.
Now, the meaning of being a mother. Webster says mother is a selfless, loving human who must sacrifice many of their wants and needs for the wants and needs of their children. A mother works hard to make sure their child is equipped with the knowledge, skills, and ability to make it as a competent human being.
That's wonderful. That's what a mother is.
It is marvelous. And, you know, we can talk about our moms. And if you all want to, you can definitely call up. You know, we know no one is perfect, but we honor our mothers because they have carried us. They carried us for 9 months. They birthed us. They brought us in this world. God, you know, allowed that seed to be in us to be able to produce beautiful children, beautiful human beings. And it is actually a wonderful, wonderful thing that God has given us. It's a gift to me. I believe it is a gift. I'm thinking about my mother, first of all, and how she sacrificed. My father died in a tragic accident in Brooklyn, New York. It was 7 children. And my mother came back home here to Norfolk, Virginia, and we lived here for a year in Norfolk before building a home and moving us in. But she was dedicated, Mr. E. She was a prayerful, praying woman. And she did all she could to make sure we had what we needed. She was a disciplinarian. She didn't take no stuff. She was 4'11", And I'm telling you, everything in the house was much bigger and taller than she was. But I tell you what, she didn't play. I love the fact that she gave us a consciousness of who God was. She took us to church. We had Bible study and Sunday school before we went to church. To Sunday school and and Bible study and church service. God was always on her mind. Prayer was the answer. She just was a no nonsense. She wasn't scared of anyone. I don't know who she never showed fear of anyone, and so she was really really bold individual, outspoken, and you couldn't go toe to toe just that easy. She was not somebody that would fight physical. She never did that. But she was a person that stood her ground, believed in the word, taught us about the word, and did what she had to do, clothe us and fed us, and gave us wonderful opportunities. She used to love to travel, and she she was really, really a beautiful, beautiful mother, and I really miss her, and I just honor her today, Mrs. Hattie Williams. I honor you, and I thank you for bringing me in this world and making me who I am.
Miss Hinton, when we begin to dialogue and talk about mothers and the definition of a mother, one of the definitions that I found is that a creator of children that speaks a strange language in a strange dialogue. When I looked at that, I thought about how Melville Everett, which is my mom, how she cultivated us. The language that she had was totally different than the language that any other person could dialogue with us about. Melba would look at you, will talk to you in a special way, and that would cause you to either get right or get left. One thing about Melba, my mama, and everybody knew who she was that knew her, is that she was a very happy-go-lucky person. She loved people. But when it comes to her children, all six of us, she raised us. I seen time that my mom needed stuff, and the children needed stuff. And so my mom made sure that we got it, and she went without it. One of the hot feeling things that made me want to go into the military, my mama needed some personal things and slips and dresses, and we needed some clothes and stuff like that. Instead of my mama going out and take care of the needs for herself, she said, wait a minute, I can always come second. I can always come third and fourth, but the children needs more than, she would eat last, and she'll make sure that we had it first, and she'll make sure that, we was taken care of first, and we slept good. She'll make sure that our belly was full, that we was clean. So my hat's off to the greatest mother in the whole wide world. That's Melva Everett. I remember I was preaching one Sunday as a grown man in front of a lot of preachers. And she looked at me while I was in the pulpit, and I had some chewing gum in my mouth. And I said to myself, I'm ignoring this lady sitting out there because, one, I got to get up here and preach, and my nerves are bad because I got to stand before a person, these people. And she stuck her finger in her mouth and gave me the signal to take that gum out of my mouth. And I turned my head to ignore it. By the time I looked up again, as they began to put me up to preach, Miss Hinton, Melva Everett standing in the pulpit, had a hand in front of my face, told me to spit that gum out, and then slapped me in my face in front of everybody. And if that ain't a mother, that's a mother's love. 757-624-9475. That's the telephone number to dial. You can give us a call. Tell us a little bit more about Miss Hattie. I heard a lot about Miss Hattie. Miss Hattie,
yes. Now, talking about sacrifices and things like that, she did sacrifice. My mother was determined not to even marry again or be in a relationship to raise us. She just didn't feel the need to have a relationship to take away any time, especially with 7 children. And so she, was committed to God, and she was committed to us to raise us. I have to just pause for a minute just to see, just to look back at her journey and see that it was tough because, she suddenly found herself in a circumstance and she had to make the best of it. I'm laughing too because I can remember how stern my mother was, but in church and things like that, back in the day, old school, moms, we talk about how the stare, Hattie Williams had to stare. She had to stare, first of all. If you were cutting up in church, all she had to do was put one eyeball on you. Not two, just one.
Have you ever figured out how they can take one eye and look at you in a certain way? I see you around the station here, Miss Hinton, and I see your finger as you begin to point. Sometimes that finger can say a whole lot of things.
That's a long finger.
And when you look at your mom, or when you look at Melva Evans, she got that finger pointing at you. When you point that finger, like, what does that finger indicate?
That finger, it does send a message. I have real long fingers, and I'm telling you, it really, when I don't have to speak or put my eye, that finger will go up and just point. I don't even have to wag it to put it in nobody's face or anything like that. But that's one of my trademarks. But I'm gonna go back to my mom because Mr. E, when as we grew up, my mom used to have this whistle. And when it was time to come in the house, oh my God, I think the whole neighborhood knew about that whistle. They would joke us out because they knew who it was. It was Miss Hattie Williams on that porch. Oh my God. And you had to stop what you were doing. I don't care if you was having the best of times. You had to stop immediately. Wasn't no, I'm going to whistle and you're going to take your time getting here. You're going to get here as soon as I whistle. You come running.
That's right.
And so I really love that about her too. And it's just so many things. She could cook so good. The Royal Ladies pie that I have, the business that I have, my mother taught me how to cook that pie. And I was like, oh my goodness, she could cook any kind of dessert. She was just a great cook. I used to love to watch her cook, eat her food and everything. And it was just a joy. It was just a joy to really see her in the kitchen and see her as she dealt with people. She was benevolent. She was giving. She would go to nursing homes. She loved older people. She catered to her mother and father because they built the home right next to us as well. She catered to them. She was family oriented, and she dedicated her life to us and God.
When I was a little kid, when we were talking about mothers, if you want to dialogue with us, give us a call at 757-624-9475. That's the telephone number to dial. If you want to talk about your mama, say some special things about your mother, give us a call, 757-624-9475.
I wanted to say this, Mr. E, and we know that moms are they're not perfect, but they are blessed to be able to, this gift that God has given them. When a mother is not able to give those things or able to nurture a child, there's usually somebody else like grandmas or aunts or big sisters that take the role of a mother. We want to wish them a happy Mother's Day because there are a lot of grandmothers now because of situations and circumstances that have said, look, you can't do it. I'm going to mother your child. I'm going to make sure they get what they need. And you hear a lot of kids talking about grandma. Grandma was my mother. Grandma was my mother. Grandma mothered me. Grandma took me to church. Grandma made sure I was fed. Grandmother. And so we honor grandmothers because a lot of times they have to be mothers.
Ms. Hinton, in our studies I got in my searching, we got the characteristics of a good mother.
Yes.
And they said, what are some of the good characteristics of a good mother? The Bible verses above that we studied along with some other verses about women and wives, give us some great characteristics of a good mother. A good mother, according to the Bible, is a godly mother.
Mhm.
I want to be a godly, don't is a godly mother. And here are some of the 10 tips that they say about a good mother. Here are some of the
Mhm.
10 tips that they say about a good mother.
Yeah.
They say a good mother will keep Christ first. That's a good mother. It is so easy to get distracted by the culture, by our own selfish desires. However, you are commanded to love God with all your heart, soul, strength, and might. This world is temporary, but what you do for Christ is eternal. Keep that in mind. That's a good mother. We're taking good care of her children.
Absolutely. It says a good mother will submit to her husband, and that's if you have a husband.
That's
Some mothers
right.
don't.
That's right.
Some women don't have husbands.
And you got to be careful
So
when you
you got
say
to watch
that.
that
Yeah.
word submit, but we understand what it means, and it's how God has designed marriage. And marriage, first of all, the husband has to love
God.
God
Yeah.
as and love you as Christ loved the church. So he is instrumental in making sure you are taken care of, so you can really be the best. Your potential of all that can come out. The garden that you take care of. A man is really instrumental in making sure you are healthy, wealthy, and wise. And
That's right.
so that can make a good mother when you have that support from a husband.
So they say a good mother love, train, teach, and discipline her children.
Yes.
757-624-9475. That's the number to dial. A good mother will love, teach, train, and discipline her children. And that's what y'all are doing. Y'all take them children and we ready to knock them down, and y'all just find somewhere down the line that there is hope in that child.
Oh yeah, I mean we love them, but we sometimes we love them and make sure they are disciplined as well. That's love too. Not just letting children just go, out and just do whatever they want to do. She makes sure that she handles that child, teaches that child. A good mother is there to make sure a child is well rounded and balanced.
Yeah.
We just we have to, as mothers, take the time to nurture and be a good keeper of the home. Not just to be into ourselves, like it says, not just to be in yourself, but to make sure that take on the responsibility to nurture and take care the child. It says a good mother will be content, and she will also seek wisdom. I love that.
Yeah.
If there are so many ways that you can become a good mother. If you feel as though, I don't know what to do, this child didn't come with a manual, there's information, there are programs, there are all kind of things and support to help you to learn how to be a better parent.
That's right. It goes on down the line. It says a good mother will be model godly behaviors for her children. She would be the role model for her children, that children would be able to look up to her mother, and she would set the example and set the tone. Well, Miss Hinton, you are a great mother. Tell me, where you get that instinct from, that your children? How do mothers get that instinct that they know their children from far off?
Wow. First of all, I am thankful for the gift. God gave me a son and a daughter. And it was a dream of mine. I wanted to be a mother. And I probably would have had more children, but my husband, he was like, well, you got the boy and the girl. That's great. And so, but it was something, I knew it was a gift from God. I wanted to be a mother, I think, more than anything else in the world. And so when he blessed me with my son, talking about life, I think I smile at him every day of his life. I really do. My daughter, when I got the girl, I did get very satisfied, but my determination was to give them a lot of what my mother had given me. And that was the love of Christ, to show them how to be benevolent, They are in some of the same field that I am. They have their own careers and things like businesses, but they have chosen to give back to the community and help develop programs and a part of what I do. And so they've grown up in the church. I would take them, just like with my mother, I would take them to church every time the door opened. I'm sorry, I did. And but then this is what I found out, Mr. E. After they got up, they started going to church on their own, to their own churches and getting involved in what I put in them. I was just pleasantly surprised that they kept that going as well.
I want to open up the phone line. If you want to call us, give us a call at 757-624-9475. The lines are available. If you want to call in and say, look, tell us a little bit about some of the things that your mama had done for you. I mean, how she nurtured you. And a good mother would train young women. They just won't keep it to themselves. They would train young women as she was trained, will help them along the way. And that's what a good mother is all about. So listen, it's Mother's Day. We can't say much. I never found any information of how or doing the Father's Day like this and what a good father is.
Well, but
when it comes down to a mother, I wish someone would give us a call at 757-624-94. Say your mama's name and say a little bit about your mama. 757-624-9475. That's the telephone number to dial. You said something that was so grand that I when I first saw my mother learn how to drive, it was one of the funniest things in the whole wide world, because my mama had to be a diva first before she could drive.
Oh my goodness, that is so cute.
My mama sat in the car. My daddy was sweating bullets like crazy, and he said he looked back at all six of us sitting in the back seat, and he had one of the biggest Cadillacs you ever want to see, and all six of us fit in that Cadillac.
That is wild.
And he would say to us, if mama gonna learn how to drive, we got to go down together.
I want to say to Miss Vashon Johnson, hello, Philip Plum. We got a whole lot of folk on this morning. I want to say thank you so much for your support. Tell us about your mom. Those in the chat, say something nice about your mom. I know some of you all, and I know you all have had beautiful relationship with your mom and everything. But I wanted to mention one of the other things that we've discovered, and that is prayer. To be a good mother, you should have a prayer life. And I'm telling you, that's one thing I know about my mother. Prayer was her second language, and it would go through the house, and anytime she was going through anything, and she didn't share a lot, she was really a private woman. Prayer would be, her anchor. Prayer would be her go-to. And even before she would go to her mom and dad next door, prayer would be her go-to. I really admire her for that prayer life.
One thing about mothers, how can mothers become nurses and never been to a school of nurses? Because when a child get a boo-boo, she know how to make that boo-boo feel some kinds of good. I want to say good morning to Miss Jewel Corporal, Miss Yolanda Tillett, Miss Roberta Cotter, Miss Sheila Robbins. Good morning to you, and thank you so much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. Just give us some shout outs about your mama. Just call your mama by the name. We can take one caller, 757-624-9475. That's the telephone number to dial if you want to say a few words about your mother.
Absolutely. It says you will not become a good mother overnight, but as you grow and you walk with God and seek his plan for you, you will grow more into a good mother. He wants you to be, in the meantime, open to his work in your life. And that's the bottom line. Take God with you as mothers. It is a job. It is really, look, that's 24 hours, honey. And you do sacrifice a lot of your time and who you are to nurture them. But it is a job that I would love in any life and any time, because it has proven to me to be one of the best things that has ever happened to me in my life. I'm glad to be a mother. I'm glad that I had a beautiful mom, And I'm just thankful that Mother's Day is coming. And yes, Mr. E, yes, we celebrate mothers and we celebrate them hard.
You know, Miss Hinton, here's a Mother's Day prayer that I found in this search, and I want to read it before we go. It says, "Dear Lord, sometimes I wonder if I can ever really be a good mother. I feel a mess up all the time, but then I remember that this is what you call me to do. Since you call me to be a mother, you will give me what I need to do well for your glory. Help me to always remember what a blessing my children truly are. Give me a word of wisdom and a kindness of my tongue. Please guide me on train. Please guide me to train my children in your way. May I honor and glorify you as a mom." Amen.
Yes, I tell you what, let's come over here and talk a little bit more about our moms and celebrate them. You all have a perfect weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. And we again say Happy Mother's Day to you, you, and to all your mothers. Happy Mother's Day from FYI, Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and Ed Everett. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on WGPL 1350, WPCE 1400, 95.3 FM. Peace. And have a wonderful, wonderful Mother's Day.
Yes, I tell you what, happy Mother's Day to all you all out there, ladies. Isn't it a wonderful celebration? Sheila Robbins says, my mom was a very good mother, and she was 4'11", just like mine. She said, I miss her so much. She was my best friend. And let me say something. I know Sheila. I know her mom. Sheila is beautiful. Her mom is beautiful. Sister. And Sheila's mom was not just a beautiful lady. She had the most beautiful laugh. I can hear her laughing right now. I can see her smile. She was a seamstress as well, and she would make clothes for me. And especially when I was pregnant, maternity clothes and everything. She was a joy to be around. And her and Sheila, they had like a sisterhood. They wasn't like mama, and they had a sisterhood. They just kind of like, the energy with one another was just so sweet. They were so close. I miss her too because of what I saw of her, a homemaker. You know, she loved her children. She took care of the household of Mr. Sheila Robbins is her name, but her mom, she took care of Daddy Pops. That's what we call him, Daddy Pops. And it was just a joy. I used to go over there all the time because the environment would be so beautiful and so special. And so we miss her, and we honor her as well.
If you can remember one thing, Miss Hinton, about Miss Hattie Williams, I wish I could have met her. You never got a chance to meet my mother, did you?
No, I did not.
Well, let me tell you, if you could remember one thing about Miss Hattie Williams, what would that be?
Oh my goodness, her beatings.
You got beaten?
A corporal punishment, boy, they won't no joke. But she was definitely a person that you were going to know the consequences of anything that you did wrong, believe you me. But on the other hand, like I said, the balance was a woman of prayer, a woman that was stern. She wasn't afraid of people. She wasn't afraid to, she just wasn't afraid of, I don't care who it was. She would stand up to what she believed. And that's one of the most things I remember about her. She was like a fearless person.
Why would mothers stand up for right and wrong of their children?
Oh, well, sometimes mama gonna cloak for the children, but my mother did never cloak for us.
Never ever.
She didn't believe in cloaking.
Melvin ever said, if you did the crime,
That's
you're gonna
right.
do the time. We used to love for Melvin to beat us. All six
Yes.
of us. We would rather have Melvin beat us, my mother to beat us, than to have my father, because my mother didn't know how to beat you.
I didn't know how to
She
beat you.
she didn't know how to hold a strap. She didn't know how many licks to give you. She just go into the motion like she's whipping us. And we would sit there and act like we crying and kicking and crying. Melvin ever but when Melvin ever look at you and say, well, you're not gonna have, it was something about her turning you down. It was something about her saying no to you that causes you to think that the world was about to shut down. I used to yearn for my mother, my mother's love. And I remember when my mother was on her dying bed, Miss Hinton, I remember it to the day. I was at a revival. My mother said, when you come back from the revival, I'm going to be here. And I said, okay, baby. So they called me and told me that my mom was rushed to the hospital. And when I went to the hospital, they was working on her to try to revive her. And so when she came back, she sat up, looked over at me,
my goodness,
and waved and went on about her business.
Oh my goodness, what a precious moment.
Yeah, I remember that girl.
My mother died in the house, and to come, to the house and see her, it was like really an unbelievable thing. You never think that your mom gonna go anywhere.
Nowhere.
You just don't feel like you feel like she will always be here. And that's
right.
why you all that have moms that are still here, cherish them.
Love
They're
them,
not perfect, but at least understand that we have a battle in this life, and we make mistakes. And sometimes we are hard. My mom and them was real strict back in the day. Grandmas and aunties and all them, they didn't play. We got a more lenient type of generation at this time. And they probably want to, a lot of good mothers teach more than corporal punishment. That's one thing I did change. I did not want to use the rod a lot without a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to get the rod, you're going to get a lesson, and you're going to learn what to do if you make a mistake. Grace was there. Not sparing the rod, but not using it all the time. Because my mother had 7. She had to keep us in line, and honey, she knew where to go. And a lot of times back in the day, Mr. E, you had to go get your own switch.
No, don't say that.
And you got your hind parts, whipped with a belt and everything. But the thing about it for me, I wanted to change that in the sense of, you're going to get your butt spanked, but I'm going to teach you a life lesson that you'll never forget. I want to teach you, give you wisdom, and give you another way of doing things so your choices can be better.
So back in the day when they was whipping them with everything that they can find, was that child abuse?
I think some of it could have been child abuse. It didn't kill you now. Some of that stuff, I'm saying if it didn't go to the extreme, but I'm telling you, they used the belt, and they use punishment too. Some of them use instruments that they shouldn't been using, like belt buckle, buckle, not belt buckles, but belts. What else?
Bachelors. Flip-flops.
Well, see, that kind of stuff like that, I didn't experience all that kind of stuff. It was a switch or a belt or, spank on the butt. But, some people have suffered with iron cords, and some people, my mother one time, she did do some of the, got some, anything that pat. But, and look, it's funny. You just made me think of something. When you 7 of us and everybody getting a beating collectively, look, everybody getting a beat, everybody messed up. So all us, look, come on in here. Everybody gonna get your butt, get a switch or get something, and I'm gonna bust you up. But it's hopefully parents now are teaching and giving wisdom and giving kids alternative to what you can do, what a parent can do, to make things a little bit better.
Did your parents ever your mother ever tell you that she's gonna get you for old and new?
I don't know. I don't know if I ever heard those words.
Never ever used to tell us, I'm gonna beat you for old and new.
Oh, I
I'm gonna give
don't
you an
know.
old whipping because you did some back before time, and then I'm gonna get you for the new one that you're about to do.
That sounds like something my grandmother would say though. But yeah, but anyway, you all we honor you all. We thank you all for what you do, mothers. And I know you're gonna have the line stretched around the restaurants, the flowers. I can see the balloons and all that stuff, the gift cards, hint, hint. All that good stuff because children will take the time and say thank you to mom in a minute. They
That's
just
right.
I don't know. My children, I love them. Just to look at them, to see them brings me joy. And I don't think they have to buy me anything because just their presence and to see the road that they've gone down in life and see that they want to be, better and well-rounded that's a gift right there. That's like giving back.
Why do you think why do you think folks go all the way to the extreme for Mother's Day?
I think they do that for dad too. What do you all think in the chat? Mr. E keeps saying, I'm gonna tell you the difference. The women are more willing to accept and receive. Just like my husband, when it comes to Father's Day and special occasion, he's like, okay, that's fine, but not worried about it, not interested in a whole lot of gifts and stuff. More that especially for the children, want to do for them. Want to do for the family. And so a lot of men are like that. It's like, well, okay, if my children give my husband a gift card, guess who gets it?
You get it.
Me, because guess what? It's like, thank you. Well, here, Yolanda, here, take this guy, go and do something. Y'all are like that, Mr. E. Just tell it like it is.
We are like that. But when you look at it, if there is no father's prayer,
right now we're gonna Google on Father's Day. We're gonna Google all that.
There is no Father's Day prayer. There is no line wrapped around the whole building, the restaurants, and
now that's not true.
And not only that, Miss Hinton, there is no lines wrapped around the father. They go to the dollar store, but you can rest assured the floor is going to be. You see, out of two, you get 3 great big days of the month of the year. You get Mother's Day, Valentine's Day,
and Father's Day,
and you get your birthday.
Oh, wow.
You get those 3, and Christmas. You get those 3 days, and guess what? You got it, man.
Yes, I want to say good morning to my cousin Daryl Neely. Also, Miss Sheila Bell. Oh my goodness, it's great to have you. We would love to have you on FYI to tell us a little bit more about what you're doing now. I used to see you on social media. I don't see you as much, but I know you've done great things and you've gone through a great journey in your life, and we would love to share it with our audience. Please inbox me and let me know if that's something that can happen. We just want to, shout you out and just honor you on the things that you've done for the community and in your life. It's good to see you up here. So many people up here, Mr. E. Mr. E, I thought you were going to cry today. You talking about Mother's Day. Mr. E gets real emotional when it comes to his mom.
I got up early this morning and I walked around the house and I did my boo-hoo, this morning because, when it comes to Melva Everett, she is a star. She's the star for me. She's my rock. And I miss her so very much. I miss her because sometimes when I'm going through, I can always go get in her bed.
Oh, wow. I tell you what, enjoy your mom if she's here. Cherish and honor your mom if she's gone, celebrate who she was and what she's done if she's not here. But look, we got a little bit of time and we want to serve a little bit of dat tea, honey. And boy, it's so much to talk about. First of all, we got some upcoming shows. And that is, we have a show on immigration. You'll be able to check that out on the 19th. And also on our After Dark show, we have immigration. What's her name?
Alina Kirkpatrick.
Absolutely. She's going to be here talking about immigration. Immigration, that's
number
a big
42.
thing now. Number 42, a whole lot going on. And we will be talking about that. Also on our After Dark show, we're going to have a single men forum, speak up and speak out on various subjects. That's going to be on Monday the 15th. We're going to have Lionel Sproul, Mr. E. Is that right?
That's on the 29th, Memorial Day weekend.
Absolutely. And look, we're looking for some ladies because when we do, we want to be fair when we do the speak out and talk about relationships and issues concerning men. We want to also please do our ladies on our After Dark show. Now, Fridays is our What's in the Closet, issues concerning women right now. That's what we're doing now. But our After Dark show, which is Monday at 6 p.m., FYI After Dark, live on all social media platforms. We would love to have you all. Look, Sheila, that would be a wonderful place if you would, Sheila, Miss Sheila Bell. I would love to have you on the After Dark show as well. Let's see what else is going on. I tell you what, let's serve a little bit of tea and let's mention some things that's going on, Mr. E. First of all, we need you all to put some prayers up for Jamie Foxx. I tell you, Mr. E, how come it's such a mystery? We can't even get any information about what's going on.
And there's no information on the streets where folks have snuck into the hospital room. You know, they said they called the family. They called the family and said it then turned from to worse. You know, we don't know what's going on with him. We don't know what is.
Everybody's surmising.
And when you look around, Jamie Foxx is now, you're looking like he's getting ready to make another departure.
Now, did somebody Photoshop that or what? But we just don't know. We also look. I hope you all checked out Trump's town hall on CNN. That was a trip.
You know, Miss Hinton, when you said something about that, I started saying, don't say that.
Don't bring that up.
Because they talked about him so bad. They talked about that was one of the worst nights of rating on radio, on
that
CNN.
Was a terrible animal. Also, Beyonce, my goodness, she started the Renaissance tour. Now, let me say something, y'all. I'm going to tell you, the reason why Beyonce's tickets are so high is she pulled out everything, robots, all kind of backdrop, lights and everything. Beyonce is doing it. And then you should see her outfits. Oh my goodness. That's why the tickets are high. The young lady is putting on a show like I've never seen. I mean, robots twirling her back and around. She going up in the sky and down. The audience is absolutely just in love and mesmerized by her and her beauty. And she's just having a great time. She's kicked off, and those tickets are no joke. And I'm telling you,
that's my girl.
That's
Beyonce.
The reason why.
If I had me some tickets, I'd go see her.
I'm telling you. Also, let me see. Oh my goodness! Listen, you know the guy, and we gotta go. But the guy that was choked in the subway, Mr. E, by the Marine, they bringing the Marine up on charges.
You talking about the impersonator of Michael Jackson?
That one that was killed allegedly right in front of our very own eyes. The Marine that choked him, he's gonna be.
He got to face some charges because he should never kill that man. That's like murder. And don't forget to let our listening audience know that the mother of the 6-year-old, she's going to have to face charges for her child.
Absolutely.
You know,
we'll tell you more about that on next week. Don't forget. We're going to be talking about guns and gun violence. We're going to talk about relationships. We're going to be talking about all kind of things. We're going to be serving that tea. If you want to be a part of it or be a special guest, Mr. E going to give you the information on how you can be a special guest sponsor or intern with FYI Radio Show.
Miss Roberta Carter feel like me sometimes. She's got an Angry Bird face up there. She must be missing her mom. Listen, if you like to be a special guest or sponsor, she is. But I see like an angry bird face up there from Miss Roberta Carter. Listen, if you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor, give us a call at 757-714-7861. That's 757-627-714-7861. Or go to Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda Lady Hinton's Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page, or email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com.
All right, don't forget, we'll be back here on Monday with Sports Talk. Oh my goodness, the NFL Well, they got that
Phoenix
schedule.
Sun went home.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness! So we got a lot to talk about.
Here's some tea. Here's some
Go
tea.
ahead.
Here's some tea.
Yes.
We all thought that Brady, Tom Brady.
Oh my goodness!
You know, we heard last time that he was going to do what?
He was going to leave. He was
He's
going
gonna
to
He's
retire.
on his way back
All
to the
right,
New
now,
England
see,
Patriots.
we should have known that. So much to go on, so much tea.
That's
We want
some
you
tea
all.
for you.
Don't forget to join us Monday. Don't forget to join us on Monday at 6 p.m. for the men's Talk It Talk. We can't wait for that to happen. We also are going to have business credit repair, Dante Jones on our morning show. And again, immigration, Lionel School, and so on and so on. Don't forget the ladies' book, Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose, on all platforms, English, Spanish, and Audible, hard copy, ebook, and download, all kind of download. You know, you can download that book. Music and Pies. We'll tell you more about that. But you all be blessed.
Tell them that you're recruiting also.
Oh my goodness, recruiting. Look, now, let me tell you what, the Young Women Achieving Success program is definitely growing. I am so excited, and we are having a great time. Please, this is a free program, and we do a lot of great and special things for these young ladies. We're developing young leaders, and we're making sure we support parents and making sure their girls are well-rounded. Girls from 10 to 17 years old, please let them be in the program. Inbox me or just call 757-287-6792. You all, thank you for joining us. Make sure you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all of you. 2 up, 2 down.